All right, you grasshoppers. It is Monday, the 2nd of June. Where that? Seriously, there's a conspiracy on. Like time is just disappearing on us.
I can't believe it, man.
Yeah, June 2nd. All right, I want to. I don't like to brag, right? Like I like to be humble, same as you, right? But there is something we do need to point out. I mean, sometimes Mark and I will get on early and discuss things, but we just realize we're kind of being selfish, right? Because the gems,
Yeah.
that we come up with, we wanted to share with people, so we just jumped right on the show. We didn't waste any time. So my first response. Now, I would like people to. I can't speak for other people out there, but when we look at the show right now, we see this man buffed. You know, 69 years old? 69?
No.
70? 70, 68.
68 for how old am I? Yeah, I'm 68 till July.
And what do we see? No sleeves.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, oh.
But you know what happened? I do my morning walk.
Yeah.
Like 2.5 miles.
Right.
And then I'll stop. And by the way, I wear layers because I want to get a little heat going. So I walk, then I stop, shadow box a little bit, just mark my territory, and then keep walking. So when I came home, I was really hot, and that's why I just kind of cooling off here.
Right. Sure. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. Yeah. All right. This is the great Mark Potvin, Patriot Training Systems. He trains anybody throughout the universe, multiple universes. Yeah. You could have multiple universes, and he could train you in each one of those universes.
Yeah, I have a special app for that, actually.
Right. He trains people that produce that made up the quantum computing and all that kind of stuff. Those people need to stay in shape mentally and physically.
Speaking of which, I texted you that PBS on Nova, which is a science show, did a whole thing on quantum mechanics. So I watched the whole thing, and guess what? I still don't get it.
You know what? It is definitely one of those things. I have to do a refresher course every once in a while because I'm really into it. But then,
I'm sure they dumbed it down. I still I
know. Right.
Yeah, I kind of get it, but I don't really get it. Yeah.
I know. There's all these theories like where one atom can be millions of miles away from another, and they move together.
Superposition and this and that. It's above my pay grade.
I know. It is interesting, right? I mean, like the whole. What the biggest thing I think I get from it is it makes you open up your mind and believe in all the different possibilities that are out there, right? Yeah. And people say, "Oh no, that can't be true." But I know we touched on this. We get so wrapped up in believing that our way and this planet of living a life is how the rest of the universe is looked at. We could be so far.
Oh, plus, we thought for a long time that everything revolved around the Earth, and then Copernicus said no.
Yeah. Very true. All right. We love this girl right here. Masters of the Universe. That's us. The only thing I'd add there, Deb, and not to be too critical, is universes, like plural. It's not just one, but that's
it's all universes encompassing.
Right. All right. Here's one of my I don't know if we call it a pet peeve or not. One of my questions about the world we live in. So I was reading today in the paper that a truck overturned in Washington State, and a whole bunch of bees were in the truck, and were now let free. And they announced that there was 250 million bees in this truck. Now, did somebody actually count the bees?
No.
Right. So how did they come up with 200?
I guess they know by a certain area, like if you took a square, like a honeycomb, how many bees would be on that, and they just kind of multiply it out. Right. Yeah,
the bees could be messing with them, right? The bees could be jumping around from squares.
Well, I mean, anything's possible. You have there are imposter bees.
Right. So Mr. Trump, the Orange Man, came out and announced that there's potentially multiple Joe Bidens as well. Did you see that?
Well, there's been a lot of photographs side by each and stuff like that.
Right.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what, I do know this. I read a book a while back by Ann Jacobson. It's a very comprehensive, well-researched book. And the CIA, I think it was George Bush, the senior dude. He had a guy in his office who he had a complete 45-minute conversation with. It was not who he thought he was talking to.
Who? George Bush was talking to somebody?
So the CIA kind of ran a little red cell test to see if George could pick up on that. It was a total, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and that George Sr. was what, like how many years ago? 30, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So imagine what they can do now. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, how do we know that we're really talking to Tom Laidlaw?
Well, I was going to say, how do we really know? And I may not even know. Like somebody could have changed me around, and I wouldn't know either, right? That's that whole multiple universe thing.
Yeah. But I mean, what I'm saying is the CIA has the means for quite a while to have somebody look completely, so at this point, I mean, it's obvious for 4 years they knew this, they had a whole plan, and yet everybody goes about their day like, whatever.
Like now,
whatever. It's pretty dangerous.
Now all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my God, he wasn't mentally sound. Like,
well, I just saw on the news now, Bill Clinton saying, no, I talked to him. He was fine. Bill Clinton, he can barely get a word out. He's like got one foot in the grave and the other one on a banana peel. That dude, God bless him, but he's not the healthiest guy on the.
Imagine him and Hillary sitting around having like by the fireplace having a glass of wine. No getting cuddly.
He's got his area of the house, and she's got hers. Yeah.
So there's no cuddling up, no lovey-dovey.
Listen, if I were Bill, I wouldn't take her to France. That's all I'm saying.
Take her to France. Why?
So, well, Macron with his wife smacked.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. She smacked him around.
So speaking of smacking, Tom, we had a little problem here the other night.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Beth and I, a little problem.
No, don't tell me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So.
Paradise Lost.
Well, no, Paradise almost ended.
No.
Yeah. So Beth, we're in bed, we're sleeping, and I have a nightmare. You know how the only time you remember a nightmare is when someone wakes you up?
Okay. Yeah.
So Beth woke me up, so I remember the nightmare. Because when Beth woke me up, I had her arm in a death grip with one hand and starting to, and like.
No.
Yeah. Hit me. He hit me.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. I'm like this, I'm pulling her in. Because in the dream, there was a bad guy over here trying to get to Beth. It's a dream. So I grabbed his arm and I'm pulling into him to feed him the left hand. And it was Beth.
Wow.
So I was like not sleepwalking, sleep sparring.
All right.
The whole new thing.
So let's go with the positive first. Shows your dedication to your lovely Beth.
In the dream, I was being very valiant, protecting her. Yeah.
Now the negative side was you confused her for a bad guy and were punching her in the head.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, mistakes do happen, right?
They do. Yeah. So her response the next morning was, when do I get to have that dream? And then she's imitating talking to police. Why did you suffocate him? It was a dream.
Yeah. Hold on here. Two things we need to touch on here. The great Dougie Sotar, Sophie, has chimed in here.
There he is.
Try that one. Oh, here you go. Doug Sotar.
Oh, the nightmare. Yeah, Doug, it was a nightmare.
Right. Now, the second thing here that we really, if we don't touch on this early, like we're 8 minutes into a project. So we're within 10 minutes. So we get the 10-minute leeway here. There was a very famous person had her birthday today, the great Susan Brooks.
Happy birthday, Susan.
How about that? Okay.
Yeah, so I had a lot of making up to do over the weekend.
And how did you do that? Was that like do you get dinners?
I made a nice dinner last night, but I make a nice dinner every night.
He'll be visiting the jewelry store today.
That's what my suggestion was. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, hold on. So Beth's going to gain from this. Is potential that this did not really even happen? That she's taken it. Not to say Beth would do that.
No, it happened because when I woke up, I was in the middle of a left hook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to. Yeah.
Right.
I don't lie.
Yeah.
No, I know that. I would never suggest that Beth would lie. Now, don't get me wrong.
He does enough screwed up shit. I don't need to make shit up.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mark the wife beater from now on.
Well, he's wearing a wife beater. Yeah.
I was going to say he is wearing the wife beater T-shirt. So, yeah.
Goodbye.
Have a good run.
Beth's leaving, going to the gym.
Going for her run. Yeah.
Going for a run. Yeah. So she's got to defend herself now. She's got to be able to defend.
Gotta stay strong. Yeah.
Has that ever happened before, something like that? Or
pardon?
Has that ever happened before, something like that in your relationship?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, with Beth, because every once in a while, it's like what you do for a living. Sometimes you're dreaming and maybe snap a jab out or something. It's happened. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I'm totally innocent of any wrongdoing because it's in a state of sleep. Right. Yeah. So Doug, feel free.
well, not that we don't want to do this, but what if it had gone to the extreme? It's somebody else, and a life was lost. Would the dream thing be an
In
excuse?
court, yeah, for sure. That'd be a contentious kind of. You'd have to really get in all kinds of experts in and everything like that. Yeah.
So Diddy can just say then that he was sleeping during all
He
this.
was sleepwalking. Yeah.
Right. Do you think maybe you should contact his lawyers and let them know that this?
Beth, she was on the phone today with the woman, Cassie, his girlfriend. They were comparing notes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, okay. Gotcha. Cassie. That's quite the scene. Oh my God.
You know, and again, it's like you feel good about yourself because you go, you know, I did some stupid stuff. But
Oh, I know.
man,
That's a very good way of looking
people
at it.
out there.
It's a very good way. Of all the stupid things I've done, I feel
Yeah.
good because
I feel good because, like, at the end of the day, I'm not P. Diddy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What first of all, it's awful to do. But second of all, how do you think you're going to get away with it? I mean, you don't think somebody at some point is going to?
Well, here's my thing too. Like, if I had all that fame and money and wealth and power, I might come up with a better name than P. Diddy.
I know.
Just saying. I'm just putting that out there. I mean, it's kind of.
Was he Puff Daddy too? Was he the same guy?
It was Puff Daddy. Well, first it was Sean Combs or something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, Sean Combs.
Sean. Yeah, that's right. Sean Combs.
Yeah, his hair, and then it was Puff Daddy.
Right.
Then I guess it was too much to say, so then it became P. Diddy.
Diddy.
Little play on words there, and now pretty soon it's going to go from P. Diddy to 01247896.
You my girl.
Yeah. But it's kind of interesting how people they can raise to that level of fame and fortune and power, and they're really.
Well, I guess they just think they can get away with anything, right?
And he did for a while.
I know. Yeah.
He did for a while.
What do we got here? What do we got here from the masses? Ron Jameson, the veteran up in beautiful Buffalo.
Yes.
How are you? Florida. We're asking. Well, Deb, how are you? Sorry, I thought he was asking how we were doing. It was Deb. How are you?
No, but Florida. Ron, I'm going to go with Florida. They're playing heavy. Connor McDavid is an X factor, but they're missing a kid, Zach Hyman, and I'm going to go goaltending's better in Florida.
I was just going to say it's kind of more iffy in Edmonton. He has played well.
Yeah.
Another thing too, Pete DeBoer in Dallas has taken a lot of heat because he pulled.
Yeah, I don't think he deserves it.
Yeah, the team. If you watch the game, you can talk about all the stats you want. If you watch the game, they were falling out of it quickly. It was going sideways. So he needed to do something to stop. It wasn't about whether the goaltender Ottinger was good enough or not. It was about stopping the bleeding. So.
Well, and Rantanen didn't have a good series. I mean, they shut him down. So when your main guy's shut down like that, and you're not getting really good, strong goaltending, tough to win.
Especially when he was so dominant before, right? That in the other series.
Yeah. I think during the playoffs too, if your PK and your power play are not clicking, especially your PK, it's a problem. You know.
Right. So. Okay, so I don't know if I should put this up. I'm not quite sure what our boy, the Crowbar Hotel.
That's a good name for the. I guess if you want to use that defense that you were having a dream, right, Doug? Is that it? Yeah.
Oh, Crowbar Hotel. I don't think that's where he's going. I'm not sure if that's where he's going.
Yeah, okay. That's my interpretation. Yeah.
Okay. Dougie's Sotar, great. Soapy.
Yeah, he could play. Doug, did he play in Jersey as well? I think he was here for a while.
So he definitely Rangers, obviously Montreal, Winnipeg, then came back to the Rangers. I don't know if he was.
Maybe not. I'm thinking something else.
Yes. When I was in the agent business, he was general manager in Kansas City in the IHL.
Yeah.
We got into a negotiation. For whatever reason, we got into an argument. And we were like real teammates, you don't argue. But we laughed about it afterwards. Like it was not two teammates; it was GM and agent going at it. So
we have one perspective; he had a different one.
Yeah. Well, I was right.
Oh so, yeah. That goes well. I mean, you didn't even need to tell me that.
Yeah. Hold on. What do we got here? P. Diddy says Sting, $2,000 a day for sampling every breath you take without asking permission. What?
So he has to pay Sting $2,000 a day for using something that was copyrighted.
Well, that's right. Here we go. Jesper Foss retired.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I guess he's been around a bit, right?
Yeah.
So how long was he in the league? Quite a while. Right?
Yeah, he was a good player too. Yeah, good skater.
Yeah. Good PK guy. real good on the PK.
Yeah.
Get a lot of odd man chances.
Here's what Soapy meant. So P. Diddy's going to the Crowbar.
Oh, P. Diddy is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 hots in a cot for him for the rest of his life. Yeah.
Can you imagine that when somebody says to you, you're going to prison for life?
Man. Especially when you lead, like in his case, an awful life. But let's just say, for instance, you didn't do anything wrong, but maybe it's some kind of white collar thing,
Right.
and which is wrong, but not quite the same what P. Diddy did. P. Diddy did.
P. Diddy did. That'd be a new song. P. Diddy did.
Yeah.
The New York Knicks lost. Would you follow basketball at all?
Not really, but the New York Post has the best headlines because yesterday it said Hoosier, Indiana Hoosiers.
Oh.
Who's your daddy?
I like it. It's good.
Good play on words. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
And where is the Stanley Cup? So unfortunately, listen, we both believe that these are the 2 best teams in the NHL that are left.
Good line. Yeah.
Problem is, like, who's going to watch, right? It's Florida and Edmonton.
Me and you.
I know.
And everybody here. When do they start? Is it tonight or tomorrow?
Wednesday night.
Why so long? See, now here's what I was talking to my kid. I said, should have started Sunday because there was no sports on. Yeah.
TV.
There was nothing on.
TV. They plan ahead, though.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I know. But they plan for 7-game schedule, 7-game series.
Right.
Right. And then a little bit of a break. So that was scheduled a long time ago.
Yeah. You want to keep it going. That's just
And then they had that. Are you a golf fan at all? You ever watch golf?
Yeah. Oh, I like yeah.
What was on this weekend? Was it
Memorial? It's a good tournament. But the week before was the PGA Championship.
PGA.
The big one coming up now is the U.S. Open.
US Open. Where's that?
This year, it's in Muirfield, which is a Jack Nicklaus course in Ohio.
You are unbelievable. How do you know that?
Any topic. I mean, come on.
I know. Very true. I
know this because you know what? In all honesty, like I really enjoy it. My son Sean is really into it. Like he really golfs a lot. But so we were talking about. So I'm kind of educated by Sean.
Yeah. Okay, we got a little debate going here. Susan wants to stir the pot a little bit here. Let it give him. I got this Dallas was flat, but letting him start to go back to the goal after the timeout and then calling back. Letting him start to go back to the goal. Oh.
Yeah. Again, it's easy. If they won, nobody's talking about it.
Yeah. I hear, listen, to do that to your starting goaltender, your franchise goaltender, no matter what, is going to be embarrassing for him. But at the same time, if the coach doesn't try something, then everybody says, why didn't you try something, right?
And maybe it wasn't even the goaltender. He did it to try and get the guys.
See, I believe 100% it was not the goaltender. I think it was just more getting the guys going. And I've seen that before. It really works, but you got to try something, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Let me see.
He just doesn't. I don't know the man personally, but he doesn't seem to have the personality where he would do something personal to a player.
Totally. I know him well. From the agent business, he was coaching junior when I was there. Great guy. Him and Paul Maurice. You're right.
Yeah.
Paul Maurice. They're really good friends. They coach together.
Yes. I saw an interview on YouTube.
Yeah, both guys, both very well educated guys. I think actually Pete DeBoer is a lawyer. Very intelligent guy. Did you follow the Caitlin Clark drama, PR stunt with NBA or ratings? What happened with her?
I don't know. It's pretty sad that they're trying to turn this into a racism thing.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it. All right. We have enough division in it. I go to sports to get away from that nonsense.
Yeah, I know.
Don't bring it to the field or to the court or to the ice.
But you know what, though? Unfortunately, it makes for good ratings.
Oh, yeah. No, it's all over the page. It's PR. I get it. But it's comes with a cost.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Just adds the fuel to the fire, right?
I hate everybody. So,
yeah, I got to tell you. I mean, so, okay, now the new rumor is that Elon Musk is on drugs.
Who cares?
Well, it's almost.
Wait a minute.
Right.
Let's just look at the big picture. Cocaine is found in the White House. We have no idea who that could have been. No idea. But now we're talking about Elon Musk. I don't really care.
Well,
he's not an elected official.
I also think that in the politics, we're worried. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see? It was about a week ago. Macron, the guy from England, Steimer, I think his name is, and there was one other, maybe a German, like whatever, and the press came in, and it really looked like that Macron said, "Oh crap!" and he grabbed the bag of cocaine and stuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And then there was a little spoon that you used to.
Oh yeah.
So
I know. It's like, it's
I
a
don't-
world
I
we
don't
live
know.
in. Everybody,
Again.
people do drugs. Yeah.
Yeah. And to think that just because they're somebody.
Oh, I know. I know. Okay, here we go. Susan is in a mood today, so we need to get this thing going here. Disagree, Mark. Even if they had won, it would have been talked about because the talk would have been about who starts. And
Yeah. Again, listen. No matter what a coach does, if he loses, they're gonna find something because that it's just the nature of the beast.
well, Rod Brindamer has never missed the playoffs as a coach in Carolina. And they went like 0 for 14 or whatever in the conference finals, not winning. So everybody's all over him about that. But at the same time, they made it to the conference finals.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, you could question it. Maybe it was a bad move. He didn't win, and that's the point. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, Susan, but I just feel that sometimes it's quick for everybody to look at the coach.
Right.
Sometimes it's justified.
Right. Well, and again, if you were watching that game, it was just they were losing it. If he didn't do something, it had the potential of being 10-0. They were just so far out of it.
You know what? Except for that, I mean, pretty much that whole series of goaltending on both ends was not so great.
I know. Yeah. It's funny that Skinner, when he wins, he's got a shutout.
Yeah.
When he loses, it's like letting in 5 goals, right? It's like
and then so goaltending is it's like pitching in baseball, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, you can't win.
Definitely. So what did you do this weekend? Anything exciting other than walk around with a shirt on or
beat up Beth? That was enough.
That's like the thought of that. Man, you don't have video cameras in your bedroom, right? Do you?
We should. Yeah. I think I'm gonna put them in there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for
it could go to court.
Well, I was gonna say it's good or bad for you. I mean, that's evidence right there. I think we've talked about this. Maybe I don't know if we talked about it on air or not. Do you ever watch? You know you do. You watch those First Amendment audit videos?
Yeah. You know what? I get it. I think like you have nothing better to do. Do you know what I mean?
Let me set the stage there for everybody, though. So the first part of the First Amendment is the freedom of press and the freedom to video whatever you want to video from public. So we have a lot of these auditors, they call them. They'll go to public places, libraries, post office, whatever, and they'll film people, knowing that people don't understand the Constitution,
First Amendment,
and First Amendment, and they'll get upset, call the police and everything. Now, some of them I think are actually doing a good job bringing light to what the First Amendment really is, making sure that if you don't exercise your rights, you lose your rights. Now, others want to stir the pot all the time. They're just looking to start trouble. So.
And sometimes some of the guys are going to public businesses.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with government. Why are you bothering these people?
I know. Or they're going to a church, right? So
yeah, that's wrong. Yeah. And again, I mean, so make 1 or 2 of these. We get the point. You don't have to make one or do something about it.
Then obviously, and that goes to another point. People are making money off these too, right? That's
And again, so to me, when I get up in the morning, it's really not front and center what I'm thinking about.
I know. Yeah. What is? I saw a funny joke. I can't remember. Oh, so you've heard of Rosa Parks, obviously.
Yeah.
So who's the funny guy? Theo Vaughn. Is it
Theo Vaughn? Yeah, he's all right. I don't
care. He called Colin Kaepernick throws a Parks because he throws the football.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
it was funny. Yeah, he does. I know we touched on this briefly, but there's those videos circulating now. They take people like Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, and they put a baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
You heard about this VEO3? It's Google's new AI,
right?
And it's really it may put the movie industry out of business because you could take 1 or 2 pictures of Tom Laidlaw and put a whole movie together where you're the main character.
Oh, is that right? Eh?
Oh yeah, it can have you jumping into a volcano. So
I can be like a superhero or something like that.
You already are, but
you
could at least people could see it then. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And in fact, that last Hollywood strike, part of it was that the extras, people that are extras, are very concerned about AI now. Because you could do a scene by yourself and put a whole background behind you. It's just AI.
Right.
So, hey, man, time marches on. But
I did see this. I'm sure this is not even a big deal, really, but it was interesting. I saw a video where they'll take a house, like the interior of a house, take a picture of it, then AI can redecorate it the way you want it.
Yeah, just if you probably a lot of what's online for real estate is not really as good as it looks. You know, you can make it.
Yeah, totally. Oh, many times you pass the car? How many times do you pass the car? Oh yeah, smoking. I used to think that I got confused, and maybe it's only me, with the smell of pot and the smell of a skunk.
It can be similar.
Is it similar?
Yeah.
My neighbor.
Not when they're smoking it, but when it's in a bag or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
My neighbor next to me in the old house I used to live in, I went to Home Depot. I bought out everything at Home Depot to kill pests and rodents and everything like that. And because I thought there was a skunk next door.
Yeah,
I'm spraying all. I've got these little pellets and all that kind of stuff. My boys come over and I say, "Yeah, I think there's a skunk there." And they go, "Dad, it's somebody smoking pot."
Yeah. Did you represent Darren Van Imp?
No.
So we were in Toronto. He was healthy, and we were walking up the street going to get something to eat. He goes, "Hi, you smell that weed?" He goes, "Well, I don't know what that smells like." Yeah.
That's funny.
Stuff,
oh, that's funny.
His uncle was Ed Van Imp.
Oh, that's right.
He passed away too.
Yeah.
I
saw that.
Boy, that the Soviet game.
Oh yeah.
He was like the main guy. Who was just spearing and I mean, just two ham.
That's hilarious, right? Because the Russian team was by far. So people don't way back in the 70s, right?
70s, yeah.
They had the Russian team come over, traveled around, played a whole bunch of NHL
the Red
teams,
Army
beating all the NHL teams. But Philly did what Philly does. They went and they scared them to death. They left the game.
Yes.
Right. And then Alan Eagleson was running the whole show. Then he went to us and said, "You're not getting paid. Let's get back in the ice." And they got back in the ice.
I mean, it was assault. It was like there was probably a good portion of the game.
Right.
Guys are doing stuff that you go to jail for.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. They'd be suspended. They wouldn't be allowed to play anymore. Yeah.
I mean, the puck would be in the corner. It was awesome.
Funny stuff. What else was I think? There's something else. Football season's coming up too. Oh, I know what the question I have for you. Speaking of football, Josh Allen, quarterback for the Buffalo.
Yes, just got engaged.
No, just got married this past week.
Married? Is that what it was?
Yeah. So what he do is, like, I know you don't know this, but you get engaged first. Well, you don't have to. You can just go ahead and elope. So I'm familiar with this because I've done that a couple of times now.
Yeah.
And doesn't always work because you say these vows, right? That forever do you part, or what do they say?
Well, also, what's your concentration level at any given moment? Somebody could be talking to me. I'm thinking about like a cookie.
Right. And so that's the reason I got married. So I wasn't really paying attention.
You weren't paying attention.
Right.
She probably said, you probably told her, "Look, I'll give you a ring in the morning." You meant a phone call, and she's making plans already. All
right. So here's something I'm not proud of, but that it's nothing gross or like illegal like that. So married twice and divorced twice. Now, I never proposed to either one of my ex-wives. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it happened. Don't know how the decision was made. And I'm not laughing about this. It's just like,
Yeah, I kind of, so I've been married once, and that proposal was pretty lame. It was pretty. Right.
Did she propose to you, or did she propose? Did she propose to you?
No, I proposed to her, but it was very nondescript. Now that I look back upon it, and I don't know if that was, so I'm not that different than you. I only did it once, but yeah.
So what did you say to her? Like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?"
No, I think we were out for dinner. I go, "Oh yeah, I got this for you." And I handed her a ring.
Nice. Yeah. And was she excited when you handed her the ring, or?
It's a while back, but yeah, I'm sure. Like to a certain level, I don't think she was like, yeah.
So she expected it. It's probably. I mean, she was excited that the great Mark Puttenvink was asking her to get married.
No, she was probably thinking, all right.
Nobody else around.
Nobody asked. Sure, I'll give it a shot. Yeah.
Okay, so Josh Allen gets married to a famous actress too, right? I don't know if I've ever seen her in a movie or like that.
Well, me neither, but that's
very attractive. Yeah. So. I'm assuming celebrities get married to other celebrities most of the time, right? It seems like they now feel much more comfortable that person isn't married because
it's also like it's hard for them if you have a certain, I'm thinking anyway, certain level of fame just to go out to a bar or go and meet someone socially. So, but all your social events are including other actors and performers.
Right. But
Just like when you're playing hockey, if you go to something, it's all hockey guys.
there must be some level of comfort that person's not getting married to me because of my status, because they have status.
Right. And this is why most hockey players marry strippers.
Well, it does happen, but to say most, Mark, it's just not accurate.
Yeah.
That it has happened. Yes.
Yeah.
So what's the theory there that the stripper has the exotic dancer has her own
And they like the names, like Cinnamon,
destiny?
Destiny.
I don't know the names, but
Yeah, I read them in a book.
Oh God. See where Mount Etna exploded to over in
Oh.
Italy? Yes. Yeah, they had a funny video, but it was a tourist thing exploded. The tourists are scrambling to get away.
Did you see what went on in Paris after the soccer? How many soccer? Like I thought the World Cup was it. Apparently, there's another one that's huge.
Right.
And a French Parisian team won it.
Right.
Like they rioting. I mean, really bad. People were killed. Yeah.
I think people are looking for an excuse to riot now.
Oh yeah.
God. All right. So Mount Etna explodes. So what would you be thinking if you're there at the base of Mount Etna explodes? Are you like running for your life? You're grabbing Beth and punching her? Are you?
No, because I'd slow you down. I'd just take off.
Right. Leave her there.
And hope not to pull. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to rip a hamstring. I'm down. It's all over. Yeah. I mean, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop a hammy. Yeah.
But so you're with Beth. So it's two different things, right? If you're by yourself, it's self-preservation. You're with Beth, the love of your life.
Try to protect her. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's my first thought. Yeah.
What would be the most? Like you're superhuman, so you don't get afraid. But like, what would be something that, like, a situation you're in, like a bomb going off, a gunfight, fire? What would be the most?
Well, I mean, they're all bad, but the worst is a snake. I don't like snakes.
Snakes.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? Like if
no
somebody's
legs and they're crawling.
right,
they're just
like if somebody's attacking you, you got hand-to-hand combat. You're going at them. Snake attacks you.
I train all day for that. I
Right.
wish it would happen.
Snake attacks you. You're trying to punch in the head. It's just
no. So a couple of years ago, I think it was during COVID. I'm walking through the woods, FaceTiming a client because you couldn't get to the gym, and he said, "Oh, the woods." I go, "Yeah, you got bear." I'm not. It's just snakes. And as I said that, I'm not lying. I look up the trail. There's a snake going across this trail. Had to be 8 to 10 feet long.
Right.
Going across. And I go, oh my God. So, but if I found out it was a black racer snake, which they're harmless,
right.
I don't care.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But and you think at the time that it's happening, you don't know, you haven't done an evaluation whether this thing could kill you or not, right? So,
well, I know the basic rule. If the head is triangular, it's poison. If it's not like a triangle, it's cool. But I'm not getting that close to the head.
Really?
Take any measurements. Yeah.
Is that the rule?
Yeah. If they have a triangular head, they're poisonous. If they have more of an oblong head, they're not.
I'm trying to think of my ex-wives if they have triangular heads or not.
So, but also, if you're hiking, you smell cucumbers like a salad.
Right.
That is an odor that copperheads give off when they get spooked.
Cucumbers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, hold on. Newsflash. You ever see like when you watch the news and they go like, it's like the news flash. What do they use all these terms?
Alert.
Yes. So I posted what I thought was the funny video. I think you responded to it. The Chinese, I think it was the guy, the chef, where his wife went and got his leg close. Right. So now, who do you think responded to that with the head slap? Like, who was famous for the head slap?
Oh, the Three Stooges.
No. A follower of ours.
The head slap.
The head slap. So when I say something outrageous, she gives the head slap.
Oh, Tracy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So she responded. Now, so it kind of it made me ponder, right?
Yeah.
I was pondering.
That's a good word. I like
right?
that.
Ponder, right?
Yeah.
Because there's really a pond, but it's got nothing to do with ponder.
Right.
Like you think a ponder is somebody that like swims in a pond, right?
Or somebody came up with ponder.
Right. So I pondered. Why? Like, was she teasing me with that brief little like response to that funny video? Then distance us. Like, what's going on there with the
Could be the dance.
Right.
The beginning of the dance.
Right.
She's trying to entrap you in her spider web.
Right. So just to let me know that she's still there. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's all. Proof of life. Yeah. Meaning, I'm still watching you, so behave.
Is that what it is?
Oh,
Or is it? I'm going to blow you off and not participate in the show, of which arguably Tracy was a big part of the show.
Yes.
Not even arguably, she was a big part of the show. And now she's disappeared, but now she's got to give the like, oh, I'm still here thing. Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just to make you aware of it, that you don't forget. You did something. I don't know what it was.
Right.
But yeah.
So it's like when you're a kid in school, you meet this girl that you really got a crush on, right?
Yeah.
And you talk for a while. She's like, wow, she really likes me. Then she won't talk to you for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But then she'll just look at you really quick, like, oh, like I looked at you.
So yeah, a lot of times they talk to you at first because they feel bad for you. Yeah.
Jeez.
And then after that, it's like, God.
Is that what it is? Oh, God. Ah. Let me see. Oh, hold on here. Danny's jumping in here. Tracy is good-hearted, and I'm sure that she's just...
Oh yeah, no, we're just teasing.
So let me. Okay, now that Dan said this, busting your chops. Let's analyze that saying. So busting, like how do we come with? I understand what it is. So it's joking around with you, right? So busting.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Well, you see them. They're being blown apart. They're busting your chops. Chops is euphemism for what? Yeah.
Chops, your testicles?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's a euphemism for testicles? Chops are?
The way I interpret it, yeah. When you're trying to be kind and not saying busting your balls, you're busting your chops.
Oh, chops. Huh. Chops, interesting.
But there's a word. Can be like chops also means you're good at acting. Guy has chops.
Is that what that means? If somebody has chops, that they're a good actor?
Good actor, yeah.
Really? Who's your favorite actor?
There's a couple. I like Christian Bale. I think he's a pretty talented guy. De Niro used to be, but now that he's old and angry, but I still appreciate his talent. I mean, he was great in those Goodfellas and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Christian Bale. I mean,
I'm a big Denzel guy. I like Denzel.
Oh yeah, no, great movie is Man on Fire.
Oh, that was neat. Oh,
a great movie.
Oh, he was excellent in that. Yeah, that was. Yeah, there's a lot of
Dakota Fanning, and now she's like in her 30s.
Is that right? She's that old. That's right too.
Yeah, she's in a lot of stuff now. She was in one of the last Bond movies that I watched.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, she's an adult, and her sister's an actress as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good movie. So the premise of people haven't watched it is Denzel's like an ex-CIA agent or something like that.
Yeah, he was some kind of tier 1 dude, and he had a drinking problem, and he goes to Mexico to escape the world.
So then he gets hired as a bodyguard for Dakota Fanning's family. And the mother is American. The father is a Mexican.
Yeah, that was
Marky Mark. No,
J-Lo's ex-husband.
Mark Anthony.
Yeah.
That's right.
He was good in it, I thought.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. So he owns some big company.
Yeah.
And there's a whole scheme about the insurance and everything like that.
Yeah. It was very good. Very good.
Oh, yeah. I like the scene where he kidnaps the first guy, takes his hands to the steering wheel and starts cutting off his fingers. Oh, jeez.
You know, he was really great in all the Equalizer films as well. If you like that kind of stuff, I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, too. He was good.
He sets his watch 3 times how long it takes to do it.
Oh, yeah. Like the first one when he went into that back room with the Russians and killed all those guys. Yeah. I like how he does it, too. It's like he stabs him and he pauses like, okay.
But, you know, a lot of those films, like for me, I'm going to assume you as well, like the scene where he goes to that hotel room and it's a bunch of really preppy college dudes and they had abused the girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and they look at him like, yeah, whatever, old man.
Yeah.
And he just.
What do you see to him like, now's the time when I usually give everybody a second chance. Yeah. Not tonight.
He was awesome in that. But how many you want to do that? I mean, that's who you want to be when you like you fantasize about being that badass like that. But he was great in that. That was a great scene.
How many has there been? Like 3 of those, right? 3 of them?
No, I think there's 4 out. Maybe.
Oh, is there 4 of them?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I like the one where I think it was the second one where he'd gone to the.
Sorry, can I just make a statement? It wasn't a Bond movie. The latest, I think, the 4th Equalizer. That's who Dakota Fanning's in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like the one scene where he goes to his old partner's house, who's responsible for killing his friend. And then when they're outside, he says, "I'm going to kill you all. The only regret I have is that I can't kill you more, or can't kill you twice, or whatever."
And then they're like, "I don't think so." And then he sees, like, oh, can I catch a ride with you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See you guys.
Oh, those are good
Great
movies.
scene. Yeah.
So how about Jason Bourne? I think that's like the best series.
Yeah, you know what? When I was flying home from Utah a month or so ago, I mean, I've seen it a million times. I watched the very first one,
Right.
Born Identity.
Oh yeah.
Rewatched it on the flight.
That's
Yeah, they
good.
were good. They were cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of the and to Royce, Royce Ramos. I'll do a shout out to Royce, our little.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All the stuff that the hand-to-hand combat, that was a Filipino martial artist that trained up Matt Damon for all those scenes.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. They use that Filipino martial arts a lot in like the John Wick movies and stuff like that.
Very cool. Nice. Here's a fantastic human being, Barry Shelley, our magical friend up in Cooperstown.
Yeah, he really is an amazing dude.
Superhuman being, yes.
Yeah.
Danny Ayerson, my favorite. Jennifer Garner, yes.
Yep, she's good.
Yeah.
So how long did you think her father was James Garner? I did for a long time.
To be honest, I never even put the two together.
And then I found no connection whatsoever.
And then, there's certain times, Mark, in our lives where we come across a human being that is intelligent. He's a veteran and a good family man and good friend of yours, I know. And he's showing his intelligence right here. Good morning to the.
He just has a way of identifying talent when he sees it.
Yeah.
He just got back. They were out in the Warriors out in Minnesota for the Hendrickson. They call it the Hendy tournament, which is a big tournament, like a ton of Warrior teams there. Yeah. So I'm sure they had a great time. In fact, one of the guys, John McConnell, right? Yeah. And still is the blind player on a team. And he just won the USA Hockey's Disabled Player of the Year award.
Oh, wow.
One of the New Jersey Warriors. Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Real big shout out to him and congratulations.
That's very cool.
Keith's a big part of that team, and he's just a great dude and good hockey player.
And smart man, too, to call us sex symbols a podcast.
Well, that goes without saying.
Right. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point.
You don't even have to say it. Yeah.
But again, it shows you how courageous he is to actually bring it to light.
With all that's going on in the world, he can still stay focused and identify true, like, just what it is. Yeah.
It's a beautiful man. All right, let's get out of here. Susan's stirring the pot. How does player safety in NHL not have an issue with Darnell's chopping Heinz's foot? He left the game, missed the next game before coming back and playing with a fractured foot. What erasure would have been if it happened to McDavid? Well, first of all, no question. If it happened to McDavid, it would have been a bigger deal. Yeah. To be honest with you, when it first happened, I was like, he barely touched him. Now, I didn't, and I still, until Susan just mentioned it here, it had a fractured foot. I didn't know that. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal when it happened. That was, I didn't study it over and over, but yeah.
Yeah, in today's world too, because the game is so much faster and everything like that.
Did you see the play though?
Did, yeah. I thought it was kind of innocent looking, but again, it's a different time we're living in, because if you go back to when you played, like every shift there was 10 penalties out there.
Yeah,
games changed. So I think it makes it hard for the referees to decide what to call and not to call. Right?
Well, based on the way Darnell Nurse was reacting, I thought he was kind of looking like, oh, come on, like you barely touched him.
That was nothing. Yeah.
And again, I did not know that it was a broken foot. So if that's the case, and I don't know if the league knew that or not. You would think that they would know, but hold on. We have stirred the pot today on the birthday girl. Get your eyes checked. It was a good shot. Oh my. Now that really happens with Susan, right? That she gets your eyes checked, and all in capitals too, right? That's all capitalized.
I think, Susan, what's happening here is that you're talking to two guys that are really old school and have not evolved.
We haven't evolved.
Haven't evolved.
But Susan, if you watch the video, okay, but let's not back away. Okay, just because it's Susan's birthday doesn't mean we have to be so nice to her. Susan, he barely touched him. It was like he hit him with a chopstick or something like that. It's like nothing. But
again, I'm going to go back to evolved.
Right. Yeah, but at the same time, let's call it as it is. I mean, again, we can't just be nice to Susan because it's her birthday. We have to call it like it is.
Well, we can say happy birthday, many more.
Right.
Respectfully disagree.
Right.
Yeah.
But then for her little cheap check, get your eyes checked. I mean, do we just accept that and get your eyes checked?
Well, see, this is a conundrum or a contradiction in you. that on the one hand, the guy almost takes a guy's leg off, and you go, "That's fine," and then she says something very benign to you, and now you're getting hurt.
You think it is hurt?
Yeah.
Right.
I think you're taking it. Yeah, you're so.
Why am I hurt though? So she's like questioning my judgment because I know all the thing.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it is.
She just gets your eyes checked. Huh.
She's very politely saying BS.
Huh.
Yeah.
So barely touching doesn't result in a fracture. Well,
good point.
But I've never, Susan, not to doubt you, although you're doubting my eyes and my judgment, I'm not doubting you. Do we know? I never heard that he broke his foot. And maybe
Listen,
some other.
I won't mention names, but there was a guy that I know pretty well. When he would take a penalty, he'd look at the ref and say, "That wasn't a penalty. It was just a demonstration of sheer force."
He would say that to the ref. I can see the ref back then.
Especially on a cross check. Yeah, he's
oh, that's funny.
Not penalty.
I can see Kenny doing that.
How'd you know?
Oh, let me see here what Danny has to say. When you talk about athletes, I don't think there's a better man than Gary Carter. There's jealousy towards him.
You know, speaking of Gary Carter, I watched a pretty disturbing thing on YouTube. So when the Phillies played back in the 80s, they played on AstroTurf, but it was really cheap, and they actually put it over concrete. And that's why the ball was bouncing every time, and it was a double. So they had to raise the height of the fences. But there's like half a dozen guys that died of glioblastoma, which is brain cancer, really rare.
I saw that.
And it was Gary Carter, Darren Dalton, who was a catcher, David West, who was a pitcher.
Right.
There were like 5 or 6 guys, and they were going through like, hey man, this was Monsanto. We all love Monsanto with their old.
Yeah.
And that it was something from that turf. They said it would get so hot, it would go up to 165 degrees on the field.
I know there's a lot of schools that outlawed it. They wouldn't use it because of that kind of stuff.
You could smell, like, you ever notice, like when you walk into a building that just got brand new carpet?
Yes.
You smell that really strong chemical odor. Imagine playing 80, 90 games a year in the sun.
No. Let me see here. Hold on. Danny's jumping on. Susan said, get your eyes shut because she believes you're strongly in the wrongfulness of the incident. Wow. He put some thought into that statement too. That wasn't just thrown out there.
That's lawyerly.
Yeah. Very nice. Hold on. Susan just messaged me. So she actually sent the video. She's on fire for this one. She's not letting this one go. She's not letting this one go. Hold on. Let me take a quick look here. Oh yeah. I'm surprised it was nothing. It was nothing whatsoever.
Where's my chicken?
What else is going on in the world that I thought was exciting?
On a serious note, what happened yesterday in Boulder, Colorado?
Oh, yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say, and this is just my view on it. So there's a lot of video, that guy walking around. Why is it there wasn't one man or woman present of mind to say, hey, I'm not going to allow that to go any further, and grab something and just smash that guy?
I know.
You know what it is?
Yeah. So people did see it. Nobody was killed, right? Several people were injured. He had like Molotov.
I do hear he's been charged with murder, which means somebody. I think I may be wrong, but regardless, that was a horrible, horrible thing he did.
Yeah. So he had Molotov cocktails, and he was running around yelling "Free Palestine." So obviously he was against.
And he also had like what a landscaper would use to spray, but it was full of an accelerant. He was spraying that like a flamethrower. And
oh, is that what it was? Okay, because I saw
flames
on the ground.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, you just walk up and punch him in the head. Yeah.
I mean, really, there's nobody there that had present. I mean,
I know.
It wasn't like he had a handgun. Just charge the guy.
Unfortunately, though, and it's a fantastic point. I mean, you go back to the subway incident where the former Marine or retired Marine was charged with. Yeah.
But, you know, this was clear cut. I mean, he's setting people on fire. You got to take that guy down.
Yeah.
And nobody moved. And I really am disappointed in that. I think it just kind of tells you where we are in society. I don't want to get too deep when they talk about toxic masculinity. No, it's just masculinity.
Where is that whole subject about toxic masculinity?
It's another made-up thing. I mean, you know,
okay,
so you want to say
somebody's masculine. First of all, the definition of masculine, I guess it depends who you're talking to, right? So,
well, the toxicity would be, if you're beating your wife, that's not cool. You're a toxic idiot, you know. But if you're saving someone's life out of just because that's man, let's face it, that's what we're wired to do.
Right.
You know,
But is that called toxic masculinity? Is that what that is?
some people interpret it that way. you
Yeah,
know?
I see. That's the issue, right? Like, what? Like, it's one of those things to me. Like, why are we even? Somebody's coming up with some kind of a statement. So,
And again, I'm being very, very thoughtful here to say it's not only men, it's women too. There's a lot of very brave women. I just can't believe nobody out of that whole, there's like you got a parade going on. Nobody had presence of mind to see, all right, he's got 2 squirt bottles in his hand, but just tackle this guy.
yeah,
I'd say, Tom, let's go get him. You know, you got high, I got low.
totally.
But it's just disappointing.
I know. Did you? I was watching Joe Rogan the other day. It's become a big topic to him. It seems like talking about the Grand Canyon
Oh, yeah.
and about
There is a part of it. I never knew this,
what's that?
that there's a section of the Grand Canyon you're not allowed to go to.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to go. And if you do go, this guy he had on claims that all of a sudden these Black Hawk helicopters or
Yeah.
black helicopters fly
Yeah.
over. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And what was he claiming? There's a reason for it too. Oh, there's some ancient. It was going back to ancient,
Technology.
right? That they're
Right?
trying
Yeah,
to hide.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
I
I'm
know.
believing in everything. Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, all of
Is
it.
that true? Like you believe in everything and you believe
Starting
in,
to, yeah.
no, you believe in everything or you believe in nothing or both.
Or both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I sent it to you, but I'm really been tracking all the differences in what we consider to be healthy. Like, in other words, cholesterol level. If you're over 200 now, they give you a statin.
Right.
Well, in 1990, which is in terms of things not a long time ago,
Yeah.
it was 300.
Right.
Was accessible. And then before that, it was higher than that. I think it was 400. Now they're saying blood pressure used to be 190 or 160 over 90 was, or 140 over 90 was acceptable.
Right.
And that was not too long. Now it's 120 over 80. Why? Because
I
there's more medications they hand out.
Totally.
You know.
Oh yeah. All that stuff. And eggs were bad for you. Eggs were good for you. Eggs are bad for you.
Well, here's the other part. So a lot of people are concerned with
salt.
No, that Trump is pulling money out of Harvard. Well, they do
Oh.
research. They do a lot of medical research there. I agree. But is it good research or is it because they're the same? Harvard wrote a white paper back in the early 60s, funded by the sugar people, funded by the sugar industry, to say that sugar is okay. It's not dangerous. So,
Oh, I know.
you know,
And I didn't realize that most people probably didn't. Yeah, we were sending billions of dollars to a private institution.
for what?
Yeah. I just don't like that concept alone is so people are going there to get an education.
Yeah.
They're teaching them all this.
And Trump kind of alluded to this. Why are we not doing that with trade schools?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that young men and women could go learn a trade. Because you know what? Try to get an electrician to come to your house. Good luck.
Yeah. Hold on here. Hold on. It's somebody. Think about it. Tom is considered obese. Like just out of the blue, he comes up
Wow,
with,
that's pretty harsh.
oh my Lord, obese.
Yeah.
Actually, on the scale, when I told you when I went and get life insurance with the scale of my height and weight, yeah. Oh, you're overweight. You can't be.
Yeah.
What?
Well, again, so this is the thing, and he's right. I mean, if you look at a chart, you're
Yeah.
going to be obese,
Oh,
but they don't understand there's percentages of body fat.
yeah.
That's just pure nut. That's just.
And that was just
pretty
that was
much.
just the stun gun too. That's not the death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see that again. That's like perfection. I mean, that's like a Greek god.
Should I do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. And it's all natural too. No drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to tell you what. I took a break, actually several months where I was not in the gym.
Mhm.
I have never felt better in the gym my whole life.
You need it every once in a while.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting some fantastic workouts. You know what I do? I think I've nailed down my diet better too, where just like removing a lot of the carbs, it's all protein, eggs.
Yeah, you got me on that sourdough bread, and I had to cut that off because
know. Is it on the-
it's good. Yeah.
and hold on, here's the subject I want to touch on: rice.
Yeah.
You enjoy your rice and also think rice is good for you, or at least not bad for you.
So I have a little bit of rice every night with dinner.
Right.
It's a good starchy rice. It gets a lot of carbs in you quickly. You know, you have to have carbs.
Right.
Some people give me an argument on this, but like the carnivore diet people will say, no, you don't need any carbohydrate at all. There's a lot of evidence or studies that show you need carbohydrate to assimilate protein, meaning if you take in protein without a carbohydrate, you can't assimilate it. Your body won't hold on to it.
Right.
Is white rice better than brown rice? Yeah, because it's if you have any kind of intestinal issues, brown or wild rice, it's going to be damaging to your intestinal tract.
Right.
And again, if I have a little bit of rice, I'm not eating any processed foods. I'm not eating any bread. I'm not eating any wheat products.
Right. And what was the old player? Remember the player who played for Carolina, Jesse Bowlerice?
Oh yeah,
Jesse Bowler Rice.
yeah.
That's what the Scots call him, Jesse Bowler Rice.
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
Hockey's had the best names ever.
What's that?
Hockey's had the best names.
Oh, yeah,
in any
totally.
sport.
Tom, what was your pregame meal? Pasta. The Irish pasta, butter and cheese.
Mm.
And pregame naps. Oh yeah, nap was a mandatory thing. In fact, you had to make sure you had the right roommate so you both had the same feeling about naps. So it was like air conditioning cranked up, window, the drapes are closed, so it's totally dark in the room. You set the alarm for 3 hours later. You have a 3-hour nap. You're up and ready to roll. Oh man,
I mean, that's team meal, back to the hotel nap, and then get to the rink around 4:30.
yeah. Hold on. I think Susan is cheering. Okay, she's cheering right now based on this comment because her cheering came right after this comment. All I did was say happy birthday to Susan today, and it's turned into this. Is it vitriol? Is it vitriol? Is that the proper word? Like just
Visceral. Down to the bone. Almost.
Oh God, yeah. Like no mercy whatsoever. Like I can't take it. Huh. Let me see here. If steroids were a thing back when you played, would you have considered taking? I don't know about steroids. I would think I'd look back at like testosterone, and again, that's a very controversial thing, so I need to be very careful. But I do believe that testosterone to help recover from injuries, energy level, all that kind of stuff could have been helped. But again, when you're younger and your testosterone level is up around 800, you don't really need it. It's just that it gives you a boost. It's artificial boost is what it is.
I think, when you're young, you don't need it. It's higher than 800. It's probably closer to 1200. But you see so many men going on it now because over the past 40 or 50 years, the test levels have dropped. There's varying reasons, but if you're an athlete and you're taking care of yourself, you don't really need it.
I've gone back and forth on it. I'm starting to believe you're right more and more that it's. I used to believe that it was kind of necessary as you got older, but yeah.
And it depends on the sport. I mean, if you're going to be an NFL lineman, or if you're going to be an NFL linebacker, that's got to be 245 and still running a 4.5
Yeah.
Probably going to need it.
So hold on. The way was in response to someone else, not your obesity. So she clearly says about my obesity that I am obese.
That's true. That sounds like you own it. There's ownership there. Your obesity.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is getting, I don't know. Like, some people can insult you and you accept it. Other people that insult you, you just don't expect it. It's devastating, right?
Oh, this one.
I know. Fans voted
Wow.
for this. Want to see come back. Guess you didn't make the cut. Man. First of all, I'm obese.
Wow.
Now nobody wanted to see me. Wow.
That's like fat and no one likes you.
Fat guy that nobody likes. Oh my God.
Did they call you chubby on the show at all or anything like that? Or?
I didn't think so. I thought I was Mr. Wonderful. Maybe I called myself that, but yeah. Huh. So Susan sees me as a fat loser that nobody wants to have around.
Yeah, and doesn't understand the NHL the rule book.
Right. So fat
You know what
loser.
it is? You're probably because you're so fat, like you
Right. I couldn't see the rule book.
through the fat. Yeah.
So I'm a fat loser that nobody wants around that can't read because I
Right.
can't read the rule book.
Yeah.
With terrible judgment also, so I can't judge them.
And then whatever Tracy wants to add to that could be a lot.
Yeah, that game totally.
Yeah.
So so the positive there is Susan's being very direct in her just total decimation of my
Clinical. It's a clinical observation.
and decimation is actually like it's 1/10, right? Or 10. It doesn't mean like decimation isn't like when you say decimate.
Well, that's destroyed completely.
Well, but also isn't it? I looked this up. Decimate is like by 1/10.
That could also be
Right.
because
So
that-
yeah.
10. Yeah.
So it's not used properly. Most people don't use the word decimate properly.
Probably, yeah.
Right, because it should be about 1/10. But
Yeah.
and I'm not saying Susan's using it because she didn't say it, but I mean basically that's her feeling.
And she's being clinical. There's no emotion. She's just seeing it for what it is.
Totally.
And that's why she understands the rule book and why because she looks at it analytically. Yeah.
Well,
Whereas both of us are attaching emotion to it. That was
she's looking at it the way she wants to look at it, right? It doesn't mean this is correct. It's just the way she wants to look at it.
Yeah.
Right. Because clearly all these other people, so basically what she's saying is all these other people at the National Hockey League are stupid as well. And just like I am.
Just George.
What's that? Just George.
George.
Right. Right. He went to Princeton, I think, too, right?
He did.
Right. So he's an intelligent guy.
You remember when they Monday Night Football? Remember Otis Sistrunk from the Oakland Raiders?
Yeah.
And they would say like University of Notre Dame, University. They got to us at University of Mars. They really did, yeah. And they did it more than once, yeah.
I've always thought what a waste of time that was at the start of each game. Like they announce every guy. Like nobody.
Yeah, back then though, there was more personality. Like
That's true.
if you look back at the Raiders, man, Matuzak, Kenny Stabler, Otis Sistrunk, they had like a lot of Ted Hendrick. They had Hendricks was on Miami, but they had who's the big Ben Davidson.
Yeah, they were a funny group. Yeah, and they're all drinking and partying, and we don't want to see Fat Tom in a Speedo. Man, this day has been.
It's turned on you. It's turned. Yeah.
So, do you think it's the universe is testing me to see?
Well, I think this is the universe you've just entered into where you're a fat bastard.
Right. So, like I go by the old saying, you don't get what you want, you get what you are.
Or you deserve. Yeah.
So if I'm getting what I am,
yeah,
they're telling me, so I'm basically a fat bastard loser that can't read the book.
Yeah, has no feel for the game when it comes to penalties.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, like, what's the positive I can take away from all this? Is there anything positive?
No. So put yourself now. I want to ask this to you, Tom.
Yeah.
How would you call a game if Tom Laidlaw was the referee?
Well, okay. And very serious question.
Yeah.
Back when I played or now?
Both. Let's hear the differences.
Back when I played, I would say to guys, listen, I'm going to give you some leeway. If you abuse it, then I'm going to start calling penalties. Now, if you punch him in the head, he punches you in the head, and you just get on with the game, let's keep playing it. Let's not take no ticky-tacky little stuff. If you take away a scoring opportunity, I'm going to call a penalty.
That's pretty good. I'd like to see that today.
Yeah. Yeah, in fairness to the referees, though, the league is saying to them, listen, no tolerance, right? If you hit somebody in the hands at all, that's a slashing penalty. If you hook, it's a stick up into somebody's midsection, it's hooking.
Well, what would you tell the boys before the game was tonight?
Boys, I'm calling it the same way from the first second to the last second.
Oh,
and
that's
I'm going to call it by the book.
Yeah. That's really a fair way to
yeah. And here's the other thing, too, that drives me nuts. And I guess I did it, too, when I played. Referee makes the call. He's not changing the call, right? So the standing around arguing with him and going nuts does nothing. Now, I guess you could go by the theory that if Wayne Gretzky's arguing with the referee's going, I better call one to make it up to Wayne. But for most guys in the league, and they shouldn't do that, but they're human people. They're right. It's like,
right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's just a human reaction to complain also.
Yeah, totally.
Question. Yeah.
Okay, hold on here. Susan, is she backtracking here at all? Friends should be able to share with friends their shortcomings. Now she's calling me short.
No, well, shortcomings could be anything. But what she's saying is you should take her criticism from a place of love and not take it judgmental. She's just being honest with you. She's trying to give you a soft landing is what it is.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, you're right. Good point by you. So I should feel good about the fact that she just tore me apart.
Yeah, because people could say, like, the old, do these jeans make me look fat? Right? That question. Right. How do you answer that?
Well, okay.
Here's how you answer. The jeans have nothing to do with it.
That's good. I didn't know you were going there. Yeah. Well, okay, but here's the thing, too. If somebody asks you that question, and you don't tell the truth, well, now they can't trust you anymore either, right? So if you lie to them and then they look in the mirror and realize, of course they make me look fat.
Look at that.
Yeah. That's terrible. So now they say, well, Tom lied to me. As opposed to Tom saying, well, honey, yeah, I mean, How do you say that gently? Do you say, "Well, honey, you have some wonderful curves.
Right. You're
Right.
very matronly,
You're curvaceous."
curvaceous. That's even
Would
better.
you say matronly?
Yeah, matronly is like I like mother. No, I like the curvaceous. So you go with that because
So matron is like an old lady more thing.
yeah, that's not a good one.
Right.
Forgot that one. But curvaceous. And you know what? To each their own. Some guys like that, man.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Some guys like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. They do definitely. Did we touch on your weekend? Nothing special this past weekend. I think we
No, quiet weekend. Did some work. Two kids really putting in extra work. They're currently in the NYPD Academy. They train with me a couple days a week just to stay on top of. There's only so much you can learn when you go to academy for hand-to-hand stuff.
Right.
And you got 600 people there, and so we just focus some other really specific stuff.
So I went to I pretty much every year for the last 4 or 5 years now. The J.P. Morgan Chase has a 5K run at
Yeah.
at Central Park. So I was there. Met this great police officer there. We got chatting, him and I. He's Puerto Rican, I think he was, and him and his wife had one child or two, I think, and they brought in a nanny to live with them. And she was a 19-year-old from Colombia.
It didn't work out for Schwarzenegger.
Well, she wasn't even 19. His nanny, like, she was an older
That
woman.
was just a mess. Yeah, that's a power thing.
But so it was kind of funny. We got into it, and he was laughing because all his coworkers were like, "Oh, you're definitely right." And now I don't know if he was playing calm, like cool, calm, and collected, but I was like, "Come on, you can't tell me your wife doesn't have some issues with a 19-year-old." And I said, "Just give me would you call her attractive?" He goes, "Smoking hot." Like, it's like so. I mean,
so wait, I don't understand. Why do they need a nanny?
well, the wife is a police officer as well, so they're both working.
But they have a live-in. She lives with them?
Yeah, she's the nanny.
Wow. That's unusual. Because usually that's like uber wealthy people get the live-in help.
Oh, well, but I guess it's one of those deals where it doesn't cost them a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
They don't pay her a whole lot. She gets
It may cost them a whole lot.
Well, yeah, well, so she now gets to live in the country, so it's a whole experience for her.
Oh, okay. So maybe, there's some kind of.
So she gets to live there for free, but she goes on vacations with them and all that kind of stuff too. So,
Oh boy.
he honest to God, he was a really like he's in internal affairs. Seemed like a really intelligent guy.
Oh, he's in IA, yeah.
Right. So, but it seemed like, no, Tom, it's fine. There's really, and I was like, come on, are you serious? And he was laughing, but at the same time, he's going, I understand. I get what you're coming from, but no, it was fine.
Yeah. Well, that's a new one. I haven't heard.
Right.
Especially for.
I had an old teammate. He and his wife had no children. They were both very successful, and they had a nanny. They brought in a 19-year-old Swedish girl. It's like,
if you're gonna do it, yeah.
So, why? If you're going to bring in a nanny, I can understand. Well, no, men shouldn't want a 19. Why would a happily married man want a 19-year-old Swedish girl?
Well, if you're married, but look at Tiger. I mean, he wasn't married, but that's his first wife was the nanny for another golfer, Jesper Parnevik. Yeah.
But I mean, so if you want to bring in a nanny, all right, but why not bring in like a 50-year-old Czechoslovakian woman with a wart on her nose or something like that? Right? Not that a 50-year-old Czechoslovakian woman would be attractive. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it just shows a lack of self-control if you have to go to that length.
But the wife's obviously agreeing to bring in a 19-year-old Swedish girl, a 19-year-old.
Oh, you never know.
What people do, yeah. Well,
yeah.
But
the whole thing going on there.
Yeah, but he did say that at one point he came home late from work, and he went down, gave up in the bedroom, kissed his wife goodnight, and he was going to go down and watch TV for a little bit. And the nanny, I guess, her bedroom was down in the basement. He closed the bedroom door to his wife's room, right, and then laid down on the couch. The wife was just kind of halfway asleep, thought she heard your nanny.
Hold on.
That's right. Is the nanny coming over?
Yes, the nanny. Sophie, crate. Get in the crate. Come on, get in the crate. Go ahead. Go.
Here it is. He doesn't.
Hold on, Tom.
Sophie, so how you doing? Sophie, what's going on? Sophie, you good? What are we doing? I think Sophie wants to get interviewed. Like she wants to get on the show.
Just go straight up.
Yeah.
He's gonna work on the unit outside. Gotcha. Thank you.
Air conditioning guys here for service.
Oh, okay. It's not some 19-year-old Swedish girl.
No, that's in the next hour. As if.
Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Now, I'm generally concerned that your eyesight might be.
Oh, that for me is for sure.
Really? You have bad
Actually,
eyes?
my distance. I went to the doctor last week. Distance got better actually.
See,
Yeah.
we may have discussed this because
We
we've
have,
discussed, yeah, my eyesight has been better.
Yeah, they're getting better, and I've never needed reading glasses, so
Right. Wow.
when you don't read, you don't need them. Anyway.
Good point, but that's an excellent. That solves the whole issue with being. So that's when you're farsighted, right? Because you can't see nearsighted, right? So-
Yeah, well, I was always farsighted. Like I was the kid that couldn't read the blackboard. Remember
Right.
blackboard? Now they're all green, right? Or
I
white.
know, yeah.
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 I used to like writing on the. I know what it was. Writing on the blackboard used to be a big kind of cool thing to
Oh,
do.
when you get called up, man, that's like you're on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a hots for one of your teachers? when You were a kid.
Yeah, my third grade one, and then she got pregnant, and then they brought in Sophie,
So,
the security dog here.
so
Yeah.
the teacher got pregnant. And what grade was this?
Third grade, so it wasn't me.
And so she got pregnant and left, brought in somebody else.
And then they brought in, it was a big drop,
I'll never forget. So Mayfield High School, my French teacher, Miss Donahue.
What grade was this?
So high school. So
Okay.
yeah, Miss Donahue. Oh, but like I looking back at it now, I really think she did things like, not all women are like this, and maybe it was accidental.
Right.
But when they bend over a little bit and the blouse is not firm against, right.
It could have been intentional, or it could have been just.
And then she wrote in my yearbook, she called me Prince Charming in the yearbook.
Wow. Oh, that you're talking now. Yeah. You're talking. That's a little much. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we all had Miss Vanderbush. That was her name. She taught typing. No one we all took typing just because of her. Like we're a bunch of idiots sitting there. Like,
Right.
but yeah, it's because
Right. Miss, what kind of a bush? Vandenbush?
Miss Vanderbush.
Vanderbush.
So everything, all the stars lined up on that one.
It's like my old doctor. It was Dr. Dennis. It was Dr. Butcher. He was a doctor. Family
Was that right? Yeah.
Dr. Butcher. Yeah.
But who, do they even have typing now? I mean, what's?
I know.
You showed somebody a typewriter. They go, "What is that?"
I know. So Miss Vanderbush was
She was the typing teacher. Yeah.
typing teacher. Wow.
And then I took German, only because I was running track. The track coach was the German teacher, so I figured,
She was here. It was a
that was a
she.
dude. I thought I'd get an A just because I was on a track team and he was the coach, but apparently they still require you to read a book and
Oh. See that's not fair.
it's wrong. Yeah.
Right.
I'm out
Right.
there doing I'm out there doing laps for what?
Right.
want
I saw-
at least a B. Give me a B minus.
I think it was New York Post today. It was reported that some girl is on a mission now to make it so that all closed captioning is on all movies when you go to the movies.
Really?
Yes. So it's fair.
So
for
there's a theater here in Suffern, which is the next town. It's in New York State. It's an old theater. In fact, they have a Wurlitzer. Remember, like they had in Chicago Stadium?
Oh yeah, the organ.
It's only one of two left in the whole country.
Right.
It's an old
Only two.
theater. It's pardon?
There's 2 organs like that left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop. Anyway, so now you made me forget what I was going to say.
So-
Oh, okay. So we go there, and they haven't touched it. It's still got the balconies and everything. Right? It's stage. It's a cool old theater. So we go there. I'm there with Beth. And I think Ty was with me, and all the movie ads they had subtitles. I'm thinking, well, that'll probably stop when the movie starts. No, it didn't. Go through the whole movie, and then when they turn on the lights, there's a group of like 30 or 40 people in front of us that are all sign languaging. And it was a movie for deaf people, and now I know why the tickets were only like $6 to get in. Yeah, true story. Yeah, right.
Wow.
But they're all sitting there doing their sign language. But I will say, this is a good thing. The subtitles do come in handy because sometimes you know how, like when you're at the movie, you didn't quite hear what they said.
Yeah, very true.
You can read it, you don't miss anything.
But then if you wanted it to be fair for everybody, you have multiple languages too, though.
Could do that too.
Right. But then you get the whole screen covered in subtitles. You can only see the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, here's a horrific story for you. So as we get older, we've discussed hairs grow in certain places of your body. No, I've been to multiple events lately. The run at Central Park. I was at a great dinner at Rayos last week, that famous restaurant, which was fantastic. So the other day I look in the mirror and I've got a hair sticking out the side of my ear.
Yeah.
Like about an inch sticking straight out. And I'm thinking, have I been walking around? Like, did this grow in one day?
Yeah, they can pop up quick.
And I'm thinking, like, so this whole time I'm trying to, I make it effort.
Anything.
Yeah, when I go to an event, I'm representing myself. I'm representing the New York Rangers. I'm energetic, and I got a hair sticking out of my ear. It's like, and it was so big, you like put a sign on it, say like, here's
hang stuff
there. Exactly.
Yeah, hang a heavy bag.
Yeah, it's one of those hairs too. That is like that. It's like
they get strong. It's a different.
Oh yeah, it's like a wire.
Somebody. You could have turned your head and took somebody out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all this time, I'm sitting there talking to people, thinking I'm being charming and charismatic, and people are looking at this hair sticking out of my ear.
Yeah, you think New York Ranger, big guy.
So now everybody, when they go home, they say, "Oh, were we there? Oh, I was at this dinner with Tom Laidlaw, former New York Ranger. He had this hair sticking out of his nose."
On the way home, they're going, "Somebody's should tell him, really."
Yeah, this Laidlaw's a goofball. He's like, he can't. He's got a hair sticking out of his ear. God.
Oh man.
Painful. All right, we've got your call coming up soon here.
So what's the prediction for this Cup final now?
I think it's going to be fantastic hockey. I think it's going to be. I think it's just going to be Florida pounding away and pounding away. McDavid and Draisaitl are going to come up a big place. I do think you're right. Losing that one player for Edmonton hurts. Goaltending is going to be huge. I don't think Skinner is the goaltender that Bobrovsky is on a consistent basis. So I'm actually going to go Florida in 6 games.
Yeah, I agree. 5 or 6. And the thing about Florida, I'm sure you've seen a clip where Maurice is screaming, he's saying F this fancy stuff. Just pound their D, keep pounding their D. And that's old school. Like they used to do, put in the guy's corner, the best players. So just
and they're arguably a better team this year than last year. Adding Jones on defense and Marchand on the front. Yeah.
And Jones is playing well. He's a DeAndre Miller kind of player.
He is. He has some years. He was supposed to be this hot stuff when he got to Chicago. Like he got the big contract, and I think now he's kind of woken up a little bit. Yeah.
So you wonder if Miller really could use a change of scenery because maybe would be good for his game.
He isn't at the same level, but that's still
they're they're kind of similar.
Yeah. And as usual, as we would expect, because we're picking Florida, go Oilers. Go.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love it.
Now I'm starting to wonder: is it me or is it somebody else? And I didn't even criticizing Susan. I think it's more she's on a mission. She feels like it's her birthday. She can do what she wants to do.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? We'll give it to her then. We'll give her that.
Well, yes.
Right. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Is there a song like that? It's your birthday.
There is, yeah.
Birthday.
I forget who it is.
All right, everybody. Let's again. We're going to get back on that theme. Really helping out our neighbors and people around us with the mental health issue. 988 hotline. Reach out and touch. Make sure everybody's okay in your neighborhood. And we got to start talking about. It's coming up in a couple months. The swim across the Hudson, right? August.
Yeah, August 16th. This will be the 7th Navy SEAL swim across the Hudson River. Last year was tremendous, and each year it gets bigger.
Right.
And they have raised, I forget how many millions already, for veteran causes. And this is for the Navy SEAL Foundation, which does a whole bunch of great stuff for SEAL families and Gold Star families. And so, yeah.
Excellent. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you next Monday at this universe or another.
Hey, the thing didn't come up.